Have you ever felt like you're wasting your time and energy on unproductive conversations? Picture this. You meet someone who seems absolutely perfect. The conversation flows effortlessly, it's dynamic, exciting, and seems to last for hours, even days. You're certain that this conversation is leading somewhere significant. But then, something changes. The conversation starts to cool off, the excitement fades, and before you know it, that perfect person is just another contact in your phone. This scenario is all too familiar to many of us. We've all been trapped in conversations that, in retrospect, were completely unproductive. They consumed our time, our energy, and in the end, they didn't yield any meaningful results. So what exactly is an unproductive conversation? It's a conversation that doesn't lead to anything beneficial. It's a conversation that feels like it's going somewhere, but in reality, it's just going in circles. It's a conversation where you're not learning anything new, you're not being challenged, and you're not growing as a person. These types of conversations can occur in all areas of life. Maybe it's a friend who always talks about their problems but never takes any advice. Maybe it's a colleague who always complains about work but never takes any action to improve their situation. Or maybe it's a romantic interest who seems perfect, but the conversation never progresses beyond small talk. The problem with these conversations is that they're deceptive. They make you feel like you're doing something productive, when in reality you're just wasting your time. You're spending precious hours, even days of your life on something that isn't improving your life in any way. But here's the thing. Your time is valuable. Every second you spend on an unproductive conversation is a second you could be using to do something meaningful. You could be learning a new skill, pursuing a passion, or building meaningful relationships with people who truly value your time. Remember, your time is valuable. Don't let unproductive conversations steal it away. So, how can you steer clear of these energy-draining, time-wasting conversations? Well, it's all about employing strategies that can help you identify and avoid these unproductive dialogues before they consume your valuable time and energy. Firstly, set clear communication goals. Ask yourself, what is the purpose of this conversation? Is it to share information, solve a problem, or build a relationship? By having a clear objective in mind, you can guide the conversation towards a productive end and avoid aimless chatter. Secondly, learn to say no. It's perfectly okay to decline a conversation if it isn't contributing positively to your life or helping you achieve your goals. Remember, your time and attention are precious, and it's important to protect them. Thirdly, recognize and steer clear of conversation red flags. These could be conversations that are overly negative, gossipy, or that veer into topics that are irrelevant or uninteresting to you. If you notice these red flags, it's a sign that the conversation is likely to be unproductive. Then prioritize meaningful and productive conversations over unproductive ones. Engage in discussions that stimulate your mind, challenge your perspective, and enrich your knowledge. These are the conversations that are truly worth your time and energy. Lastly, don't forget the power of redirection. If you find yourself stuck in an unproductive conversation, try to gently steer it back to a more productive path. This could mean shifting the topic, asking a thoughtful question, or introducing a fresh perspective. Remember, it's not about completely avoiding all unproductive conversations. After all, some of our most cherished memories come from seemingly aimless chats with loved ones. But by employing these strategies, you can ensure that your conversations are more often meaningful, rewarding, and a good use of your time. With these strategies in hand, you're well equipped to navigate away from unproductive conversations and towards more fruitful and rewarding communication. Let's quickly recap what we've covered today. We've delved into the depths of unproductive conversations, those engaging yet fruitless discussions that can consume hours, even days of your life. We highlighted how these conversations can end up being mere decorative contacts, often leading to disappointment and a sense of time wasted. We then moved on to discuss strategies to avoid such conversations. We emphasized the importance of choosing wisely who you dedicate your time to. It's crucial to value your time, as it's one of the most precious commodities you have. We also touched upon the concept of gaudo gastronomico, where one spends time and resources without gaining anything substantial in return. Armed with this knowledge, you can now make the most of your conversations and ensure that your time and energy are well spent. Remember, it's not about avoiding conversations, but rather about fostering ones that are meaningful and worthwhile.